So I'm also the founder of Reboot Construction, which is a purely a prefab modular kind of a company, and sort of a similar business model like a marketplace where we are matching people, vendors to homeowners that want to build their houses over
Mhm.
and above like a laneway housing. ADUexchange.ai is more like a laneway housing focused, right?
Mhm.
And region wise, right now we are focused on Ontario. We'll quickly expand into California. I used to do stuff in California, but right now put our feet on the ground. With Reboot Construction, because of prefab and panelization and modular, we are very much inclined to inject that kind of approach in ADUexchange.ai. So vendors that are open, even though they may have not done prefab or modular, that are open to kind of orchestration of on-site, off-site construction, we'd be we'd be pushing those vendors ahead of the line when we get those requirements, because we are a big advocate of prefab and modular from a scalability perspective and manageability perspective over a period of time. That's what it is. And then I'll let Sanchit introduce himself, and then Vic, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, thanks, Sanjay. Thank you so much. Hey, hi, Vic. So my name is Sanchit Malhotra. So I am closely working with Sanjay in the capacity of insurance operations manager for both ADUexchange.ai and Reboot Construction. So I have been recently started working with him, and I'll be closely working with all his operational logistics and how marketing is happening, all the backend stuff. So happy to be connected with you on this call today.
So my actual name is Varghese, just shortened it to Vic. We specialize in rental units. Our focus is rental units, and right now we're doing and the market that I serve is mostly GTA, a little bit outside of Toronto, not exactly Toronto, and everything outside of Toronto. And most of our clientele is fairly traditional thinking. There is a lot of chatter, a lot of discussion, and I know there have been many projects that have gone the modular way. So many clients have looked at it. I have some gripe with it. Is that I have a little bit of gripe with it, um, but for the most part, I think the future is that, like especially in Toronto, with respect to laneway housing and stuff like. Me personally, I am a little bit of a skeptic in the sense, um, because the option to make changes to it as we go is very limited. Like once you have the modular, you get what you get and you stick with it. There's no changes. But with the traditional build, there's a lot of changes that happen as we are building, as the construction is progressing, right? A lot of the people, unfortunately, especially in the GTA, or at least my clientele, yeah, and I don't know how many years you've been in Canada here, like in Ontario. If this is you just recently moved, and I'd be thinking, if you were in California and you're moving to Ontario to technically with respect to California, this is like a tier two city. You're moving to Ontario is my number one question would be what was the motivation behind it, right?
Yeah, just
Just give me
family
1 second,
reasons.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. Okay, just have to switch. हाँ जी. Okay. You just give me a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna park the vehicle in
Yeah,
about a
no problem.
minute.
Take your time. We want you to be safe first.
Me too. Oh, my. All right. All right, sorry about that. Okay, now we can go back
Yeah,
to it.
no. Yeah,
So
so
yeah,
to
so
answer your
leaving a
question, why Ontario, why Toronto? Just to
yes.
give you a background, I came to North America about 30 years ago. In Winnipeg, I
Oh, very
landed
nice.
first.
Oh, very
Uh,
nice.
so I'm
Okay.
by
Thoroughbred.
natural citizen. I'm a citizen of Canada.
Okay.
So as soon as I completed 3 years in my tech world, I went to California. So
Very
I
good.
lived in Southern California, Northern California. I was there for 25 years. I got exhausted of doing the, work visa
So
because I'm a Canadian citizen. In the middle, I did come and do some projects here and things like that. But in my whole process, I did a lot of real estate, fix and flip, bought 30 homes, and realized that this construction needs a little bit tech love and care, and hence we created a entire model. We spent quite a bit of money. If you don't mind, I'll jump right into it, and I'll share the model that we have,
sure.
plans and designs that were built according to California standards. Can
Mm.
you see this dark knight here?
I do. I do.
Okay, so I'll basically switch it here. So this is a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, um, uh, a 1.5 kitchen, and it's very like you were saying, there's a lot of customization. We went through about 85 iterations with the topmost modular prefab company, I think globally. So we have the engineering and plan of this entire model that is according to California standard. And as you know, California standards are pretty high. If you succeed there, I think you can do a translation in Ontario space also. So I have the
Yes.
engineering plans and designs here for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
you have a question?
Yeah, well, it's not like a question, and I don't doubt how the modular thing would be, and you'll probably get to know. The thing is, probably there's a lot of learning curve on my side too, to understand the modular concept and how they work. But a lot of the clients that we work with, once we do the framing, and as we're getting into just before the drywalling, or as we're getting into drywalling, and many times even after drywalling, there's a lot of changes that happen. Like you move the plug point here, you move the vanity there, you move the kitchen plumbing here and there, right? And then there's definitely a bit of change requests that happen. And a lot of my clients, at least the ones that I work with, they have a issue visually understanding when I explain to them why this piece of either the electrical plug point or the plumbing piece or the toilet should be here and not there, as per what they're looking for, is because of some good reasoning behind it. But they generally don't tend to understand unless they see it physically. Okay, now we've done the framing. Oh, now I see the space. Oh, now I see how what you're talking about previously, kind of thing, right? When it comes to modular home, I have found it like we have gone in down this path of recommending modular homes to a lot of people. There's a bit of a hesitance with the clients that I work with, and again, that might be an understanding gap. That might be a gap. It might be an education gap, basically, not understanding, but educating about what the modular home offers in terms of customization, or in the future if you want to add something, right? Now, for example, like a lot of the ADUs or garden suites that we install or that we build, we generally have like heat pumps with 2 or 3 heads, right? Now, how does the wiring for that go? Where do the heads get installed? Where do you make holes for it? What does it mean to the integrity of the structure? How does the insulation work before and after? So there's a lot of things that I think I am not able to answer for them. So there's a bit of an education piece from my side too. We did one modular home, and I faced like a lot of challenges with them. Like it was literally, it came to me like, I could have just built it traditionally, made changes the way they wanted it, added extra plug points, added extra, moved around some plumbing, and go from there. I'm not ranting here. I'm just telling you my feedback. Again, like it might be my understanding. So it would be very helpful if you could give me the details. Like aesthetically, no doubt it looks good from all angles, right? It
Yeah,
probably is
we
code
spent quite a
compliant as well.
fortune behind this, as you can appreciate.
Of
We
course,
didn't want
of
to
course.
make it look like a containerized. So as you can see, there's a lot of labor of love and 85 iterations to go with a top architect in the world.
Of course,
We
of
spent
course.
quite a bit of coin behind this, right?
I don't
Um,
deny that. 100%. I totally agree, right? If
the-
you can share with me the spec sheets, how it performs in winter, how it performs in summer, and any places that you've installed already, and how long have you installed it for? Some see you're from Canada technically. You own you have a Canadian citizenship, so you know the people here are generally a little more conservative than
yeah, yeah,
otherwise, right? So
yeah.
they do, and it's a lot of the business is basically referral, and a lot of the business is very slow. You sell a product into the market, nobody wants to try it unless you give it to them for free. Even if you give it to them for free, you have to just cover your ass as your back, sorry, your back as much as you can, because you never know. Even if the product is free, you never know how the people are going to come back and react to it, right? And one wrong Google review, one bad photo up on the internet. No contractor wants that. Like nobody wants that. And whoever is serious about this job, they don't want anything of that sort. Right. So there might be a little bit of an education gap here. Understanding how do you do change requests when you're doing a modular home or a prefab home. Concept wise, it's beautiful. It looks beautiful. Like I said, it probably is code compliant, but there is a lot more details into it that goes when you actually start the construction from my perspective. And I face it on a daily basis. Like even on many of my fixed price contracts, uh, I have to keep reminding them, hey, you make any change, you're gonna have a problem. There's gonna be time and cost associated with it. Right? The moment I say cost, the time they don't care many times. The cost, they do care, right? But at least the flexibility is there. We can have the conversation that is going to change. But with respect to the module homes, I'm how does the electrical work? Like, how does the plumbing work? Like, if they have to add an extra plug point, how does that work?
So these are great questions, and I think there's a lot of, to your point, a more of an educational and also perception approach, right? And that's where ADU Exchange will prides itself to being that neutral platform or a marketplace where we are giving the flavor to the audience, to our end customer that's looking for quote as an option. So we are not tying their hands of saying you should do modular, you should do prefab, but if you were to do stick build, these are the pros and cons. If you do modular, these are the pros and cons. So the customer has been approached, or the conversation has started from an educational footing right from the get-go, and they're very conscious of the pros and cons if they decide to go the modular and prefab route. So they'll already be educated. They'll already know that these are the options and these are the limitations, and that's where you sort of come in, and that's what that's the value proposition we are bringing to you as a vendor. If it's a stick build, we'll still want to execute it. We want to satisfy whatever the customer wants. But at the back end, as an organization, we are big advocates and believers of prefab and modular, for the simple reason our business model can scale. If we are just only doing stick build, there's a huge amount of dependency of completion. Like to your point, if all over the city, all of the guys we are running around with a bunch of contractors, there'll always be that lemon that will come out, and one bad review because the contractor didn't deliver, then we are stuck with it. We are adding more variables on site with stick build, but it's not to say if the customer wants stick build and understands very clearly with eyes open that this is what they're going to get and what are the pros and cons of a modular and a prefab. And hence we've got all these different design options. Like you got this 1160 square feet. So we are not just saying, hey, buy this two floors. Maybe it might not even fly as an ADU, but then we've dumbed it down. We've still used the technicalities of the Lego building blocks, if you will, keep the aesthetics in mind, give that sort of, do you want a 1 bedroom or do you want a 2 bedroom type of thing? Like, for example, this dimension is 20 by 40. Nothing has changed from 1160. This is a 20 by 40. We've removed the top. and then positioned it as an attractive ADU model, still looking modernized out here.
Okay. So
Now
if
we
I may ask a question here, is this built out of the containers?
know it's built out of moment frame, panelization, light
Okay.
gauge steel from ground up. So
Okay. They're
to
all
again
brand new
address your
products.
yeah. So to address your question, there is a large level of customization, but again, expectation management and education of the customer is a must here. Like
Okay.
we
Now,
have this one.
if somebody has to come see this, do you have a location where it's located? Like
Oh,
somebody wants to
right
experience
now
it.
we are going after some of the vendors that have already. We do have vendors that have modular builds and things like that. It might not be this exact same model, but yes, we do have vendors that they can go and see the location. We can take them to that location. Not a problem at all. Once
Uh,
again, the idea is we are not only just pushing modular prefab. It might very well be they want stick build, and that's why we'll bring you into the picture. And we might, and if you gradually also graduate into and you say, okay, I know how to do the modular install, there's a mid path also where we are doing uh, uh, a kit apart panelization. So some part is done off-site and some part is done on-site.
so okay, help me answer this question. If today, if I have a client who says, "Hey, let's go modular way," right? And they select like a 600 square feet ADU, the modular, and they place the order. What's like the price range that it comes up to, and how long does it take to be delivered?
So typically the price range really varies. It's no different than a stick build. Sometimes it might be a
No, I
little bit
understand.
more expensive.
Ah,
It might be more expensive than the stick build itself because of the large windows and things like that. I mean, you can see how elaborate these windows are. I mean, the windows itself is working out to be 70 to $100 a square foot. Now you can say, oh, if I gave you a price point, then you'll compare it to a stick build and say, oh, this is too much. Well, look at the amount of stuff that is put in here. You might put some rinky-dink small windows and say, I can build it a lot more cheaper. So we'll miss the whole comparison out here. So really depends. If we want to compare apples to apples with the stick build and the exact same material, the windows and doors and all that stuff, yeah, we might be able to come almost close to that kind of price per square footage, basically.
okay. So what's the timeline, right? Let's say somebody picks up one of your standard ADUs, 600 square feet, 700 square feet, and they place the order. What's the timeline?
So typically, we've seen 3 to 4 months, or maybe sometimes 5 months, given all the permits and everything are placed. Design is already
No, no,
done.
don't worry about the permit
I,
part. Like, let's keep aside the
I think
permit part.
3 months, 3 to 5 months is reasonable to
So if
say.
I place the order today, I'll get the product in about 3 to 5 months.
Yeah, 3 to 5 months. Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is about 3 to 5 months, I can actually build the whole thing from ground up.
Once again, if this whole conversation is should you do stick build or should you do modular, I'm
No, no. See,
again
that is a
stressing the
choice. That choice is to the client, right? The idea being
yeah,
we offer this to the client, right?
yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
there's a
yeah.
modular way. See, either I become a pure sales guy for you and push the modular concept, or I'm the guy who has to probably give two options, modular and stick build, and they pick and choose which one they want to go to. Correct?
That's up to you. You might not even want to do modular and prefab. You'll say, Sanjay, I'm comfortable with stick build. Just get me clients that are wanting to do stick build, and we are totally fine with it.
Oh,
And neither do you have to sell anything because we are doing all of that. I mean, if you're going to sell and you're also going to do everything, then what is it that we are doing in the equation, right? So
fair
we
enough.
are already doing all of that. We are already educating the client. We are not looking for clients from you. This call is more to establish you as a vendor. What is your comfort factor and
Mm,
how many ADUs have you built so we can represent you in the best light possible in front of our clients.
mm.
So I think given our background, what we have and what options we are showing and all these different designs that we are showing you, I mean, they may buy it, they may not buy it. That's a different story. But the question happens, how much are you willing to do modular installation or you just want to stick with stick build? You give us that choice. You
Yeah,
say,
so
just
like I
get me
said,
stick build. I don't want to
there's a
bother with modular.
no, so there's I love learning. I love understanding new things. So if and like I said in the previous call, we got on this one. If you have the spec sheets, if you have the details, and all like a real case scenario or anywhere on your website, if you have that information, send it to me. Let me consume that. Let me understand that. Let me understand what level of customization there is. Let me understand if once you place the order, like what is the ordering process for this pieces? Like the client says, okay, let's go modular, right? What is the next steps from there, right? Do they get a selection? They're not simply going to look at the large windows on the doors and order the stuff. They want to get a feel and sense of it. As you get deeper into it, they're going to ask questions. Hey, how does my kitchen outlet come out to be? How many plug points am I going to have? Where's my panel going to be? How is my plumbing going to be? Right. So there are so many
So
questions, and I also.
let me answer that question in a very short and sweet manner. Are you
Hmm,
seeing this model out here, 360 square feet?
yeah, I can say that. Ishq.
This design, we have the design and engineering. Our approach is we are dictating to the modular factory. We have an order. This is the design. This is the engineering. It is our design. It is our engineering from Reboot Construction. You
Hmm,
have to build it exactly like this because we've sold the entire design, the look and feel, the kitchen and everything is already set. The client is in love with it. They are going to pay for it. So they are not asking me how many plugs will I get and this and that. They've already seen a feature like this, and then we go and build it for them. If they say show me one right now, we don't have that, but very
hmm.
soon we'll have that. In absence of, if they don't like this design, we didn't sell this, we have other products that our partner vendors already have built it, that they can go and touch and feel also, so we
Okay.
can take them to the factory.
So does this come with like all the wiring inside already done?
Everything fully done. When you're talking modular, when you talk volumetric, the entire box is done, and it's already approved and stamped according to third party inspectors, like whatever those third party like Intertech guys and all, they'll stamp it. The local authority has no other except the connection plumbing, that the ground level getting connected to this particular ADU.
Okay. Okay. So like I said, for one of the areas, if you have the spec sheets, show me where the panel goes, show me where the plumbing
Yeah,
goes.
I'll send you the entire engineering and design and everything. And
So
and again, sorry, go ahead.
no, so let me consume that. It's not. I'm going to take some time to read about it, learn about it, and hey, if it works out well, then all I have to do is put the slab and the underground plumbing and be ready for it. That's fine because if it's a modular home which doesn't have a basement, I still have to go 3 feet deep or 4 feet deep below the frost line for plumbing lines. You know,
Yes. That site work
so
basically we are talking about.
yeah, so there's a lot of side work that happens, right? So I need to be prepared for that. I need to be, recommending or suggesting to my client that this is what the process is. So if I'm digging all the way anyways, why not put a crawl space below the slab,
Yeah.
right? I have to put
Those
the
are other creative options that you can consultative, you can add. Our job is to get the client, okay, see what their likes and dislike is, and also to present our designs as Reboot Construction, that we already have spent money, we've done the groundwork. We'll try to push this as much as possible. In absence of that, if they don't like that, they want stick build, we'll go the stick build route. Or if they want one of our vendor partners, whatever models that they have, we'll showcase to them. These are the models that they've already installed. You can pick and choose, or else you can pick these gorgeous looking, because we've spent a lot of time and labor of love. If you want us to build this, we don't have it right now, but once you place an order, you'll do a favor for a lot of other folks also that would want this. And hence we are trying to also push our models along in the mix. That's where our entire
what
value proposition.
what's the inside? What are the walls made of?
Light gauge steel, and depending if you're doing kit apart prefab, then it's panelized with light gauge steel. If we are doing total volumetric, then we are going with structural steel, where you can lift the entire box and the entire module is coming on a truck basically.
Okay. And like if they have to install like hang stuff on the wall, what do they do? They stick
They have
it,
to hang what on the wall?
the pictures.
Yeah,
Uh,
hello. This is not like you're giving them deck of cards. This is a full-blown house that is
and I
being
know,
built.
I
The only
understand.
difference
So
is built off-site, and when it comes on site, they can do whatever they want on the wall. They're not like some by the
like I
wind, the
said,
walls will blow away.
no, no, that's not. I guess you misunderstand me. What I'm saying is like now in the traditional wall, in a drywall, there's a lot of anchors that are simply available that they either anchor it or stick it, right? And people know about it, right? This is if this is a light gauge steel, how do they anchor stuff to the wall? Which is going to happen,
Oh,
right? Or they want to
light gauge
anchor.
steel is just framing and panelization.
Mhm.
You still follow the traditional drywall, and everything is the same. You asked me what is it built of, so I said the
No,
panelization.
inside walls. What are the inside walls? Is what I was asking you.
Drywalls, general drywalls, just like how the traditional drywall is.
Okay, so is that coming? So for a modular piece, is that coming all built in, or you
Yes, yes,
just the?
everything. What you see like that, this will be picked up on a truck and just dropped at the back.
Okay, 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 okay. Sounds
With
good. All
bathroom,
right.
washrooms, everything. And the outlet will be in the basement or whatever at the bottom. You just have to connect it with your utility and site work.
Okay, I do have to jump off. It's already 8:03, but I have a question. So now the business model that you're proposing is basically me becoming like a vendor, like you have your clients, you source your clients, you do the marketing, you bring the clients to me, and or if I have clients and I give them the option to go modular or stick build or traditional build, and then if they say yes, they want to try the modular, then I bring them to you. So what is the business model like?
Yeah, if you bring us the clients, obviously we'll have certain remuneration on that, whoever gets us referrals.
Mhm.
But like I said, we are not like worried about clients at this given point in time. We are just
Mhm.
wanting to get proper vendors who can execute on it because we already have a huge marketing wing and Sanchit is spearheading that entire department.
Mm.
This conversation was, I know you've asked me a lot of questions. Give me a minute or two to ask you some questions.
Sure,
How
sure.
many ADUs laneway housing have you completed, fully finished so far? Only laneway housing right now.
Laneway housing, not a lot. ADUs as such, maybe upwards of 50, 60, 58, 60 of them.
ADUs and laneway, I might be using the term in the same this.
Interchangeably.
Have you?
So within the city of Toronto, there is a laneway housing that is allowed within a very specific geographic area. In outskirts of Toronto, like Mississauga, Brampton, they allow Brampton, like Peel region, they allow 3 units right now. I think they're pushing it to the fourth in Brampton. Like you can have a fourplex, but the way it is designed is you can have a garden suite in the back, which is a detached unit completely, which could be like a prefab or
Yeah,
stick
so
built.
my question is very much on the detached garden suite, not necessarily
Yeah,
conversions or anything.
right. So maybe detached garden suites we have done how many? Maybe specifically the detached ones, maybe 17 or 18 of them.
Most of them, where is the spread of geography? Is it Mississauga? What is
Mississauga,
that spread?
Brampton. No, Mississauga and Brampton.
Mississauga, Brampton, mainly you've done that, right? So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
gives us
Mississauga,
an
Brampton.
opportunity that since you've already done it, you've got some examples. So if any of our clients want to see your work, are you comfortable of showing them like what you've done and all that stuff?
No problem. Like
Okay.
very soon, I think we've not been great on Instagram or updating our Instagram page, but we will be updating it very soon with all of the examples. If they want to see it,
What
they
is
can
your
see it as well
website?
as.
What is your website address, Vic?
So if you go to v2reno.com or just look up v2reno on Instagram, you'll find. But like I said, we're not very great on all of them. Um, but we are
Yeah, I
there.
can
Like
see the,
we do a lot of
yeah, we
stuff.
do. It's a red this, right? This is
Yeah,
your, I'll just share the screen here. This one,
it's still coming up. Yeah,
right? This is you, right?
yeah, that is
Okay.
us.
And so you've done
We have
about
pretty good
17 and
reviews.
you've got some good reviews on the 17 one.
See, overall, we've probably done maybe like ADUs, like we've done basements, we've converted houses, we've done full homes, we have split homes into multiple units, those kind of projects. We've probably done maybe 60, no, or 60, 58, 60 of them, or was it 68 of them? between 60 and between 60, yeah, close to 60 of them, right?
You give the
And
warranty. You have a Terion license.
I do have a Tarion license, but a lot of the times we try not to use it. It just comes with too much headache. Um, a lot of the clients, they want it. The ones who want it, we register it. The ones who don't want it, it's up to them. Why I'm saying that is there are situations where the structure is already built, right? We're just converting them. So in those cases, they don't want all that headache. They just want it to
But
be
again, on an
finished up.
ADU, like
On
separate
a
ADU, you'll
brand
be able
new,
to give. Yeah.
yes, on a brand new one, we give the warranty. We give the Tarion warranty. We have no issues with that.
7 years you're giving the warranty.
Oh, well, so it's the joke about 7 years Italian warranty. Um, so by the time it gets to the seventh year, it's only foundation. So if it's an ADU, there's really not a lot of foundation. We don't do slab on grade here. We have to go below the frost line and then build up everything from there. So that's a given. So, but if there is no basement, we really not worried about it. If there's a basement wall, then the foundation cracks within 7 years, then we have the conversation. Otherwise, well, in my experience, I've never had a problem with any of the foundation work.
You also have a HCRA license.
We have to have HCRA license. Without HCRA license, you can't do Tarion.
So you're covered there. What would be the process in terms of like cost, ballpark cost you've done in Brampton, and you told me it's about $150 to $200 a square foot ground up, not taking the site into consideration.
Yeah,
Site
there's
work.
a lot. See, yeah, there's a lot of site work. Well, when I say site work, if I have to build a ground up, that's like, and that's I think a lower end pricing too. Um, uh, but uh, but what happens is there's a lot of caution deposits that go, or deposits that you have to pay to the city, especially if you're doing plumbing work and grading work and many other works. That takes away a significant chunk of money. It comes back to the owner. Uh, so there are two ways you can run with that. Either I take on the responsibility where the price goes really high, because ultimately somebody's got to pay for it, right? Or the client does all of this, they pay for it, and then we have the permit on hand. Well, we work with the client to get the permit out, and then they take care of all of those processes, and then we just build it for them. There's both ways we can go.
Typically, what's the time frame from the day they sign a
Uh,
contract to you give them the keys in the hand?
yeah. So if let's say if I have everything ready to go, like the permit is out, we can hit the ground running tomorrow, depending on how big it is and the complexity of it, anywhere between about 4 months to 7 months. Right?
2 to 7 months. How much time does it take? You said Mississauga and Brampton, so I'm staying only focused on that. How much time is it taking for the permit to be achieved, basically?
Yeah, that's a that's a
Ballpark, like what's the range?
so let's say if it's a simple AD or simple garden suite, it probably takes a couple months. And if it's a brand new build, maybe a little more than that. If it's a conversion close to that ballpark, what ends up happening is this does not include the time that you take with the architect to put the architectural drawing together. Right? Like, I mean, if you're asking me all these questions, you're probably just fishing. You should probably, if you've done your groundwork before getting into this, you probably know the answers here, or you're just trying to verify your answer that you already know. The uh, the two big aspects that take away time from the application going in is the client deciding what they want inside and which direction they want to go to and how big they want it. Number one. The next one, when it goes into the city, if there are preconditions like the connections that are already there, there's no problem. But if the connections are already not there, they have to go through multiple levels of reviews. It probably could take anywhere between 2 months to maybe a year. But there are situations where we've gotten into where we've had to go for minor variances. The minor variance automatically will add you 2 to 3 months. So each project is very specific. each ADUs that we add. Now, there are certain areas that are zoned for ADUs. You put a request, it's pretty quick. It's brand new. You're building it maybe 2 months, 2.5 months. Then the work is like the site prep work, running the plumbing line, getting the electrical. Is it going to be underground? Is it going to be overhead? Like new
What's the
places, it
site
has to
prep
be underground.
typically take a time frame? Site prep.
Yes, site prep should take, including plumbing, electrical. When I say plumbing, it includes both supply and drain, electrical. Your If you had to build I mean, you had to build your foundation wall. All of that will probably take about 2 to 2.5 months, including all inspections.
Now, I know you have to leave, and I appreciate you answering all these questions. I think we've covered pretty much. What do you see as an onboarding process to begin? Before I jump into onboarding, let me ask a very upfront question. Is this model appealing to you? Do you feel that we are bringing some value to this discussion, or you feel you'll have to still think about it?
It's not about thinking. Like I said, there's probably an education gap in myself. I need to understand and get into the details of it, be able to in a position to answer all the questions that coming to me first, and potentially what the client comes up with. And then I should be able to make a choice or decision of what it goes. So that's why I keep saying, like, send me the spec sheets. I probably am going to have some more questions about it. The big thing is the reality is the clients have a very different expectation when the work gets started. They have a very different expectation during the planning phase versus what ends up happening. And there's a lot of time that goes in between that is not accounted for. And if there is a contractor who says, no, my projects have been perfect, there have not been any changes, whatever I said, whatever was in the permit, I did it exactly as is, he is lying through his nose, or
Oh, no,
she is
I
lying
agree
through
with
her
you.
nose. It's as simple as that. So the big thing here, and because it's such a squeezed up market, and there are like people all around trying to just undercut one another. Slight customization is a big thing. They may have decided to go a certain way, even though I tell them, "Are you sure about this?" But once the order goes in and the piece ends up coming on site, I'm telling you, there are going to be some regrets or some
Let's
some
say
disappointments.
initially for you to make life easier, because we want volume, we want projects to move along. We are bringing you just straight site build. We are saying, okay, here's a client, we've already spoken. What does that process look like for you? Would you or somebody from your team will show up to give us a quote for forget about prefab modular, let's park that. We are just getting you a client, and then like how quickly can you join our team, go on site and give us a quote? What does that time frame look like?
So, is that the first question I have to ask it? How am I going to get compensated for my time? Right? Who's going to pay for it? Number one, how far is it? Right?
No,
Now, if there
Brampton
is a
and Mississauga only. We are talking. That's why I asked you where
yeah,
you have more focused
see,
on.
see, Brampton and Mississauga, from one end of Brampton to the other end of Mississauga takes about an hour to drive. It's as simple as that, whether you like it or not. Right?
Yeah, no,
Back
I
and forth.
understand.
Back and forth is like 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours. There's so much more things that can happen between that time, right? Like what is the revenue split, or what is who's going to compensate for whom? For you, it's purely your business. You want to get the clients done. You want to get everything done and gone. And you're looking for somebody who's reliable who can do it. And I have bullshitted my way many times in the past. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm a very serious guy. If I say this, even if I go into losses, I'll try to get that done in that way. Right?
Will
There's a
you be
lot that
giving a fixed quote or like a open bid type of thing? What is your approach?
it depends. Like I don't know what your business model looks like, but mine, depending on if you see if you have the permit, then I can give you a fixed quote, and it's going to be very, very specific to the permit. And I'm going to educate my client 100 times and tell them all the pros and cons before we sign the dotted line. The moment And like I said, I have a penalty clause built in the favor of the client, but I can only honor that if there are no changes. The moment a change starts happening, it that technically goes out of the box. So I spend a lot of time with my clients ahead before we sign the dotted lines. And all of that time technically is unaccounted for. I'm just assuming that they're going to be signing with me. It's as simple as that. Right? I educate them so much. I tell them this is not the way, this is what is going to happen, this is what you do, all of it. But I'm telling you, inevitably, once we start the project, there's going to be a lot of change requests. And those have given me nightmares. And I've updated my processes to tell them ahead of time. We are going to discuss this in the beginning. If there is any change requests beyond a certain dollar value or beyond a certain design that we already planned for, that is the city is approved, everything goes out of the window, right? And everything is going to be double expensive. It's not going to be like, oh, this is just one small line that you have to move this way. Oh, it is just going to be like one thing turned that way. No. So there are some pros and cons on my side too. But long story short, we are very serious into this business. We want to, like you said, educate the client and then bring them on board and then get it done. They will be absolutely comfortable with me, right? I can only deliver if I have full control of the end-to-end process. That is from the beginning to the end. If I don't have the control, I'd rather not do the project because I know this will go down, it'll go sideways, and nobody's going to be happy.
So if we do get a client in the initial, there's a process of a life cycle of a client, like you said, you
Oh
don't
yeah,
want to waste your time and all that stuff. We are doing lead generation. There are a couple of options that are coming to my mind. Maybe you can steer us in the right direction here in this conversation. One, it looks to me if we sold the client on just general numbers, generic numbers, but not giving them hard numbers, just a ballpark figure of saying this is what it will cost you, and do their permit, do their design, and then saying that you will get the actual fixed cost from one of our contractors once we have the permit, everything nailed down. Do you feel that would be a good approach, or do you feel otherwise? What are your suggestions?
so if you do the permit aspect of it and say, hey, I have this thing, just build it for me, that's one model. Or if you just have somebody who is in the beginning of your funnel, who's just getting understanding what the ADUs are and would like to do it in a few years, or is like an investor who is wanting to try their hands at it, and you want me to take them across like the full cycle, I can do that. Either way works for me. I have no issues with them. It just you, from your perspective, you have to be, hey, I have this client, they already sold, we already signed, we're going to go through the permit process. We've done through the permit process. Here's the permit document. Give me a fixed price for this. I look at it, I look at the site, I look at the architectural drawing. I have access to other information on the site. I can give you a really good, really good, like within 97% pricing, exactly how much it's going to cost. And my contract will have all the details, like including to the level of what, sort of the shower fixture that I'll be using. Is it a generic brand or is it like a name brand?
So say we have 10 leads. I'm just going to scale it up. Suppose we have 10 leads coming in, conversations are going on. They've asked for a quote. 10 people have asked for a quote. Do you prefer doing this remotely of saying, okay, this is the address? One of our guys goes and takes a video of that location so that it's saving your driving time. You don't have to go on site. Or do you feel that you'd like to go to all the 10 leads? Because if you go to the 10 leads and you're asking us to pay for those because they have not converted yet for us, then our business model does not really pan out. Because out of 10, if we paid for your visit and only one is getting converted, our cost of acquisition of a client starts shooting up. What is a healthy balance that we can convert more remotely, not waste a whole lot of your time, and as well as our model is not getting out of budget, basically?
I have actually thought about it myself and I've been trying to solve for it, and I don't have a good answer for that, to be honest. What ends up happening is, unless if I give a quote based on the photographs or digital information, I can tell you it is at least off by 15% because I don't know how the site is.
So if we do
Now,
a
if
contingency,
it's yeah, 100%. We can do a contingency, but all of these contingencies, whatever you add, is going to increase the price. And what is going to happen if it's not a committed client or a converted client, they will shop around. There's nobody that I know who's a little bit savvy a little bit careful with stuff, or middle, 30, 35 years and old, and has been in Canada for 5 to 8 years, there's nobody who simply goes with one contractor. They will call around and ask around two, three, four guys, and then pick and choose who they like the most. It's as simple as that. So
But that's our
even if
business
it's a
model. That's inevitably going to happen. That's
right,
our business
so
model to
so
be.
when you say contingency, unless it's a converted client, your contingency is going to increase the price, and they're going to shop around and they're going to say the other guy is offering for 15,000 less or
So,
20,000
but what
less.
is your definition of converted client? Are you saying that we got a deposit for design and consulting? At least we got some money
Correct.
commitment.
Correct. You have to have some money commitment. Otherwise, you're simply spending time, which I'm telling you will be futile for your business model. Yes, I've been there. They will once you get in front of them and they say, okay, let's go through this process. You have to 100% guarantee they are doing the same thing with somebody else, or a known guy, or a referral guy, or they've called their friends, or they call the realtor, or they call the mortgage agent and asked, hey, do you know
Maybe
somebody else? And
maybe we take
when
a
it's fine.
$500 refundable, non-refundable
Absolutely.
if they don't go with us, right? A
Correct.
500 or 250, right?
Correct.
So that they are a part of the this, and then we
Correct.
can say, okay, one of our guys can come in and
100%.
right.
Now, that's
So
going to be a tough sell.
that 250 is going to be a tough sell according to you. You're saying.
500, you can ask for 250, 500, even $1,000, whatever you want to charge. It's up to you, right? The moment, if you have 10 leads and you say, hey, there's $100 non-refundable, your serious guys will come down to like one or two max.
I think we'd rather deal with those guys because we also don't want to waste our
Absolutely.
time and your
No,
time.
100%.
We are,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
we are not interested
100%.
in going around beating around the bush.
Correct.
That's what, and we are telling them they don't need to go anywhere else because we are giving you quotes to begin with.
It doesn't work that way. I'm telling you, it doesn't work that way. Like they see, if you are giving them three quotes, it's still coming from under the same company name. You understand? They are going to go with a different company name who got referred to them by a totally different person. 100%. They might eventually sign with you, but they will ask somebody outside. Like it doesn't matter. It's like Amazon giving five options and then Walmart
Yeah,
selling the same product for
competition is the name of the game. Just because of that fear doesn't
100%.
mean we won't do business.
100%. I'm just trying to say, like, how do you circumvent that or make sure that you're not losing money because you're putting in so much effort? There has to be an end goal. There has to be a way about who's absorbing these costs and how much are you willing to absorb these costs. Like you come down, you're questioning, you come down, you bring up a good point, your cost of acquisition. I'm not sure if you actually worked out the cost of acquisition. It's not nothing. There is a cost of acquisition. I don't know if you have a roster of clients already, leads already in hand. If you like, we can do like if you have about 10 or 20 leads in hand, we could run it and see how it goes. Tell like in that, ask seven of them, say, hey, we want to go down the path. You have $100 non-refundable deposit. Like if you chose to go with us after all this we have discussed, it'll get added to the overall quote. If you decide not to go with us, we will take it easy. Like we will, all you lose is $100 or $200 or $500, whatever you feel is right for you, right? And then the other ones, do it. Five other ones, do for free and see how far they go.
Oh,
Right?
let's
I
do
would
it. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it that way. If we take that $100, then if you come and you give a serious quote, uh, the challenge is going to be, let's say, if we pay you that $100, we still have to get two more quotes, and everybody's asking me $100. So again, I can't charge more to the client. I lose the client in that sense.
no, sorry, I
So
don't follow. Like one client, you're charging $100,
yeah, if I'm charging you $100 non-refundable, I come to you.
right?
You say, okay, I'm going to drive. I'm going to give a serious quote. I'm
Right,
going to put in my time. I say, okay, you take the $100. We don't want to earn money off of it. We want
right.
serious people so that your time is not getting wasted. But our model is we are giving them three different quotes, not only from you. We are giving two more quotes from them.
Okay, so that's where that is what I'm trying to come down to, right? Like why would like if I were a regular client, or let's say you're doing an ADU for yourself, you go online, you find a company that is offering quotes, right? The same company offering for the same product three different quotes. How much will you rely on that? Or would you make at least some effort to go completely outside of that and say, I'm going to get a totally independent quote and see how much are they different by, or how much are they off by? Like, why would you rely? Like, if Amazon is selling the same product for three different prices, are you saying that you're not going to go to Walmart or Loblaws and check if they, or Dollar Store to say if they have the same
I
item?
have no control on that. They can go wherever they want to. I'm saying from our perspective, we are
Correct. So,
promising them three different quotes.
okay.
Unless
Okay.
we say we'll do it sequentially. We'll get you one contractor, you see his quote, you don't like it, then the next one also we'll get you. But
Okay.
we'll make sure you're satisfied. Rather than giving all three quotes in one shot. So maybe that might be it.
Right. So then the question is, who's absorbing the cost of giving the quote?
Well, you suppose you come in first. You let's say you're our preferred vendor, you're a serious
Mm,
player with us. We
mm,
are giving
mm,
you that cost. The other
mm.
two guys will bring on board saying we already have a quote, we've already paid for it. Can you beat this price?
Oh, they will 100%. They'll say, yes, we can beat the price. We can beat the price by 10%.
No, and we are not going to see. We also don't want to waste our time keeping on beating prices. We are not in the business of beating prices out here. We want the
See,
customer to be happy. If you feel confident, we are also paying you for your services. You
okay.
feel that you are going to give your best shot, and the customer is happy. Why would I want to still keep on
Okay.
selling them?
So let me ask you something. How are you different from Home Stars?
Homestars is doing all those low jobs. We are focused on ADUs.
No, that's
They are
fine.
giving
But
you, they're
Home
going
Stars,
giving you painting jobs and this is jobs and that jobs.
no,
And
Home Stars
Homestars
has
might just be giving what's that?
no Home Stars has the other ones too. Like if you want to do just building like a
Yeah, they're
ADUs and
asking you for
basements and
money for per lead
legals.
and all that stuff. We are not asking you money for leads.
Um, I get it. Right now you're not, but tomorrow when you have n number of vendors onboarded, probably your model will change. Like eventually, somewhere you have to make your cost. You have to cover your cost of
Yeah,
maintaining the
obviously,
system.
we don't know what the model.
So,
Right now, the model is we are not putting any pressure on our vendors. We are not saying give
mm,
me money and all that stuff.
mm,
We are saying we've got clients. Can you deliver? And for that delivery, we are asking for a fair price quote and seeing if the client is going to buy it or not. If that client is not happy with that, then it's our fiduciary right to get him another quote until we lock the guy in.
okay. So then let me put it this way. You should find somebody who's willing to do the quote. You send me the quote, I'll look at it, and I should be able to beat it easily. 100%.
Either ways, I don't care who's coming first in the line.
Right.
Does not
See, the
matter at
idea
all
is
to me.
you want to log the client. I can help you log the client. No problem. Right? That's where you make your money, and only when I have a signed document is when I start making money. Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whatever happens in between is the game that we are playing here.
However we want to treat it, it doesn't matter to me. We don't want to lose our marketing dollars. If we
Correct.
have
You
client
don't.
who's knocking on our door, we want to fulfill it.
Of course, of course, of course. So when you're sending out the quote to the client, what is the quote going as? Is it going under your company's banner or is it going under your vendor company's banner?
It is going under the vendor company, but we are like
Mm,
the marketing company. The whole
mm,
liability is on the vendor. We are not saying that we are the builders or general contractors. We are
mm.
not positioning ourselves. We are purely
Understood.
saying we are the quoting engine. We help you
Mm.
from a consultation, from a design and permit and things like that. We can help you in consultation, but a
Right.
builder is totally separate game altogether.
Of course, 100%. Yeah, that makes absolute sense, right? How is your website traffic now? Like, are you generating leads? Do you have a roster
We're
of
starting. We're
leads?
starting next week aggressively to do paid
Okay,
advertisement.
okay. Um, okay.
What would be the next steps, do you feel, Vic?
So, like the next steps, if it's and your so now how does the modular thing fit into the like? What is your marketing strategy? Are you marketing yourself as ADU experts with modularity, or
Yes,
stick build
yes.
or any build.
Both, any build. But we will be pushing hard on the frontline modular.
Okay. So if you're pushing hard on frontline modular, I need to get into the details of the modular stuff. If you can send me the spec
I'll send you
sheets.
the design. I'll send you the design. If you can give me a just rough ballpark, what will it cost? Because you have all the design and engineering already done for the two-story. We have a rough idea of what we can. So then we can sell it to the customer of saying, okay, we've got a guy who can do this as a stick build or
Okay.
modular
So
for that matter. Doesn't matter.
that's fine. Like, see, for me, I think there's only a little bit of a knowledge gap here. Whether for me, it won't matter whether it's modular or stick build. If it's modular, I just have to make sure my contract is that much more tight, saying that no customization once you place the order, period.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
If it's stick build, some customization allowed, but there's the charges are going to be pretty hefty because any change request
Yeah,
is going
but
to
this
have
is the
so
design
much
what we are
time.
selling basically.
Of course. So I need to get into the real nitty-gritties of how the modular stuff works. Right. So if you can get me the spec sheets, you can get me all the information like the pros and cons, like whatever you have. Like you say you
I'll
basically said
yeah, I'll
you work with these modular construction
do you use
guys,
Revit? Do you
factories.
use Revit files?
Revit, I don't have Revit. Uh, can you do a PDF? See, I don't need to look at the design. I need to look at the specs and the details of the materials and and the pros and cons of it. Like I need to really study it. The design is, as long as it
I'll
looks
send you the
beautiful and
engineering.
good, people don't care.
Yeah, yeah. I'll send you the engineering plan and the design and everything. See what you can make out of it and see if you can give a rough estimate. We can start with the Dark Knight,
Right.
the three bedroom, two baths, basically.
Right. Now, have you done any market research to see the two bath, sorry, three bed, two bath um, in GTA if anybody's installed it or if there's a big market for it?
So the three bedroom, two bath, I feel that it might also apply for us building a resort right on the lake and things like that. So I'm marketing that angle also to investors. If they want a modular or a prefab or a stick build, I don't care because the look and feel is very gorgeous. People have really wowed it. Dwell magazine also approached us, said that you should be on our magazine. So it's got that aesthetic and the wow feel. So
Magazine,
we don't care.
you pay the magazine money, anybody will print anything today.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, yeah, that's true. That's true. But if we can package that to an investor who wants to do like some kind of his own pad or Airbnb, I think there's an opportunity there also for us. So all
Definitely.
I'm saying is if you can give me just a general uh with contingency 15%, treat it like a stick build. I'll give you the design and engineering, treat it as though there is a client there. Give me some so that when we are selling this, we already give them a ballpark figure with some contingency padded on top of it. Now you'll say, well, they are going to go and shop around. Well, it'll take them time to build a design of this nature. And unless they are so ferocious, they want to copy the design, all power to them. Let them have it. I don't
See,
care.
the thing is, there are many people in the market that are offering modular. I had a client, or I have a client in Scarborough. They want to build like a 500, 600 square feet, two bed, one bath unit. They want to retire into it and they want to finish the upper floor. Like they want to rent the main house and live in this one, be mortgage free, continue to be mortgage free, sort of situation. Right? Because once they retire, they want to generate some income. Now that client has said that they've looked at least 25 different modular homes, and they have come down to like one or two of them that they would prefer to go with. And towards the end of the conversation, they came back and said, "But what I'm not sure of is how much I can customize." I was like, "Well, that's something that you have to decide before
You have to decide upfront.
you have to decide upfront. You have to think of all the things, and that's where I can help you with. I can tell you this is what goes here, here, and here. And then once you go, and whichever company that you go with, you have to ensure that they can customize it, and then they won't charge you an arm and a leg to do it, right?
That's
The
where the whole
standard
sales
package.
process comes. That's where the whole sales process, there's a lot of work that needs to be put in upfront to sell to a client. That's why
Correct.
we play a role basically. That's a sweet spot.
Correct. So then the question is like, then she was like, okay, so if that is the restriction, how long will it take? I said the actual house can be, we can just ship it in, it'll come, it'll get installed. The actual work happens way before that. To make sure the plumbing is done. And then once the modular home comes in, make sure the electrical lines are done. The electrician comes in after. And then testing, well, testing is a simple thing. Like everything is already built in, so you don't have to worry about it. But the site prep takes longer here, and there's a duration between which you place the order versus when you receive it, and there's a lot of preparation happening in between that. Overall timeline wise, you're not gaining anything. It's not like it's you simply go today and order it and it comes tomorrow and install it. Well, to be honest, I don't know. Like on Amazon, I've seen some of them selling for 13, 14, $15,000 too, even $20,000 too. I don't know what those are. I never explored those options. But these are the kind of feedback or questions I get from my clients who I talk to. So for me to be able to confidently talk to them about the modular versus the stick build, and go either ways, unfortunately I need to know all the details of it, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
ordering process, the warranty, what it is ordered. Now, if on a modular piece, if I'm offering my warranty and I'm taking on my headache, I need to know the build quality, because the market, no matter what they say, no matter who says what, it's extremely competitive. Like and an industry like if you're in IT or software, you at least have some educated people, though they are cutthroat and though they are like pretty straightforward. They're pretty not straightforward, but they're cutthroat, but they're a little more educated. In construction, that doesn't happen, and people will just for $5, they'll just come after you. Right? There's a lot of liability you're taking on, so it has to be at the end of the day worth your time and my time, right? And it has to be like for that, I need to be able to get into the details. See, I will tell you something from my experience. I have learned it the hardest possible way. Basically, I've learned it ground up. I haven't well, I've shadowed some very, very little, but it's not like I shadowed somebody and I have 30, 40 years of experience behind it. Every experience of mine is absolutely genuine, good or bad for it. And I have learned it the hardest possible way. And I've learned that just because you want a project and you undercode it and you take the project, you are going to burn like crazy. You're going to get stressed. You're going to have a problem. So I've decided and I've updated my processes and I've updated my contracts to be as foolproof, even though it's in the advantage of the client, as foolproof as possible so that I don't get stressed and they don't get stressed. I don't look like the bad contractor who, effed up towards the end, right?
No,
So
totally
please
respect that and appreciate these details that you provided us. I think as the next logical step would be is that I'll send you that Dark Knight, the California model. See if you
send me the
can give
model. I
some.
need all the details of it. I need to understand how the processing works, how the ordering works, how much we can customize if they're going to place the order, what it is going to cost. Because see, where I get insert myself, I need to account for my time. I'm going to be very straightforward
So
with that.
the Dark Knight which I'm sending you, I don't have a ready model for that. What I'm asking you is to give me a quote as though you were doing a stick build of that Dark Knight. I'm giving you the engineering, I'm giving you the design. Give me a general ballpark quote on it.
Okay. Um. Okay. All right. Send me. Let me take a look at the file. Okay.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. See what you can come
Okay.
up with.
I know we are like way, way beyond, way ahead of us, way beyond our time. It's 8:40. I had a 8:30 call. I'm just
Yeah.
running behind. Send me the details. You have my email ID, and then we go
Yeah.
from there. Anything
Okay.
else for now?
No, this was a good start. Hopefully, we'll do some projects together and scale it up as time goes on.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Very good. So I'll call you separately.